Hi everyone, welcome back to course Salesforce Integration. In this lecture, we are actually going to implement Freshdesk with our Salesforce. We are going to develop an MS code here to create the contacts in the Freshdesk, and then we are going to develop a code to create the ticket in the Freshdesk. So we are going to implement this in two parts. In the part one, we are going to implement these four steps, and in the part two, we are going to list all the tickets from Freshdesk to Salesforce, and we are also going to get the tickets which are related to a particular requester, which is also known as a contact and customer. So, so let's quickly start with the very first step, which is creating a remote site. As we already discussed in the previous lectures, for every API we have to create a remote site settings. So what URL we need to add into the remote site is the base URL of our API. If you have still opened your API documentation, you will be able to find that this is your base URL for the API to make the call out till here. So just copy this and log in into your Salesforce environment, go to the remote site settings and then click on new remote site, and we need to provide the information here. So we need to give the label, the name, which we will say Freshdesk, and then URL, that whatever URL that is for our Freshdesk site, that is what we need to put into the. Now we have added the URL. Next step is to create a custom label and put the username and password so that we can get that dynamically. So what we will do is we will type here custom label, and we need to create a custom label where we will be storing our Freshdesk API key and the letter that we have. So what we will do is we'll just click on new custom label, and here we will be putting our API key and the password. So we will say that Freshdesk again. I'm just going to give it as Freshdesk, and for the value what we will be doing is we will be going into our URL here. So I'm just clicking on login, providing the base URL that we added as a remote site setting, and I'm going to log in into my help desk so that I can go to the portal and I can get my API key and then paste that here into our custom label. And next what we need is we need to include a colon here and then put a letter called X. This is what we were using into our postman as well. Now we are going to save this. Now we have API key colon X into our custom label. Now what we need to do is let's quickly try to create a contact record first, and then we will try to create a ticket record into the Freshdesk. So I have opened my developer console, and into my developer console I have a utility class which is Freshdesk util, and it has few methods I have not implemented. These are again the skeleton methods that we discussed into our previous lectures while we were implementing open case data API. So this is the method that we are going to use for creating a contact record, and then we have another method which we are going to use to create the ticket record. Now we need to know what all parameters our contact record API accept, right? So if we go here into our Freshdesk and go to the contacts, this is the object we deal with. Create a contact. We have name, email. We wanted to send the phone, mobile. We can use all these four parameters to create the contact record. So as of now, if you have seen right into our method, I've created only two parameters. I'll create two more parameters here. I'll say it is phone and this is mobile. So these are the four parameters that we need to pass. Now how we need to pass? What is the format of passing the parameters? So the format of passing the parameter is something like in JSON form, right? If you copy this, or if you already have opened your postman and you have opened your request that we sent for creating a contact, you can just copy this request here, or what you can do is you can just put a comma here because we wanted to pass four parameters here. So we can just say we're not passing any values, right? Just copy these, the value that you have just prepared, go to your developer console. We have created a blank parameter called request body here. We just need to paste those here, that's it. Now we have pasted it. It's not done, we have to make the changes over here, and we will be doing that. and I'll be showing you how we can do that, right? So first thing, as we need to know that it is going to be in a form of a string, so we are just going to convert into the string. That's it. Just select and put the single quotes, because double quotes are not supported, and if we use inside single quotes we will be able to do that. Now we are done up to here, right? We need to dynamically pass these parameters, right? So first what we will say here is, we will say we wanted to pass the phone and mobile, because these are the variables inside our contact. If we get back, right, this is the phone, email, and the type is string. Okay, now what we will do is, we need to make them dynamic, right? So what we will do is, we'll just quickly put, okay, it was like this. I'll just show you again. We have this name and we wanted to create a name, whatever the name we are getting. I just put this name here. Now you can see that this is still in the form of a string, a static string. What we need to do is just put a plus sign over here and single quote, and put a single quote and plus sign over here. Now you can see, right, the color is black. That means we are preparing a dynamic string over here. Now we need to send emails. Again we need to do like this. I'm just going to put plus sign and then email over here. We need to put two double quotes, two double plus, and then between double plus put email. Now we have phone. Again we need to put two double quotes, the similar process that we followed here. That's it. Now we have dynamically prepared our body, and sometimes as of now we are getting these four errors. It will be resolved. Now let's talk about if there is any parameter which is type of integer and our decimal we wanted to send, because for the integer and decimal this value, this double quotes will not be there. So how we will be preparing that request, right? Go to this Freshdesk and see if we have any. We can see this company ID, but we don't know what company ID is. Okay, we don't have this number parameter, but we have in the next request. We will be talking about that. As of now, let's quickly try to save this. Still, we are getting the error because here that string is not in. Now we have prepared our complete string. Okay, so this is the body. Why we are preparing the body? Because the method that we are going to send, that is going to have the post request. So we need to change the method as a post here. Now, as it is a post method, what we will be doing is, we will be sending a body. We will say that we wanted to send you a body here. That body you need to process. So we have just added a new method called http request. This is the object. We have the set body and set the body of whatever the body we have prepared. Now we are just getting some error, right? We're getting some email, phone missing. So these are the some parameter. These are some error that we are getting. Let's quickly have a look here. We just need to put a plus sign because this is our string and we have to concatenate it. Now once we will be doing that, we will be good to go. Now you can see, right, there is no error and we are successfully able to save our code. Now this skeleton was already there. What extra we added is, we changed the method name from get to post. Why? Because we wanted to post some data to Freshdesk, and then that data is going to return us some information about what URL we are trying to hit. And then we added that body, because if we are sending any post request, we need to send the body to the system. Now for this URL, right, what is the URL and how we are going to say that this is the URL that you need to send to the system. So we have created on the top two final static variables. First is ticket endpoints, where we have given the ticket endpoints. If you wanted to get, you can just quickly go to the tickets and you can get any other list ticket, or you list all tickets and you will see under the request section you will find your URL. And the next parameter is contact endpoint, for creating a contact. There is everything similar except the endpoints, that we have tickets and contacts. So that is what we have given here. Whatever the value we want to get here is, that is contact endpoint. Now again we are sending the request here and we checking if this time it should be 201. Why? Because post request always give us the status code as a 201. And then we got the response body. I can say here response body instead of request body. So this is what we have got, response body, and now we are ready to test this. So let's quickly test this request, and we will be preparing a new request in the next parameter after testing this. So we have got this Freshdesk util, and we have got this create contact, right? And then for the name, I'm just going to say as Amit Singh, and email I have something called, this is my email that is again a valid email. And let's try to execute this, and we'll see if we are successfully able to create this. So here we have got debug only, status code 401, that means unauthorized. It means we have not passed the authentication parameters over here. We have gotten this, we have created a custom label. So for custom label, let's quickly say credentials. I'll say, right, now we have got this credentials. While sending the request, we need to tell the system like this is our authorization, and under this person or under this authentication parameters, execute our code and then give us the response, either error or success. So what we will do is we will say set header, and then here we need to pass authorization as a key, and then for the value what we need to pass here is we will say basic, because it is a basic authentication, and we will say plus, and we talked about that our basic authentication should be having the value of, we will say base 64 encode username colon password. So we already have username colon password here, we just need to base 64 encode it. So how we are going to encode that? We will say encoding util dot base 64 encode blob dot value of whatever the credentials that we have, and we will try to execute the code again. So now you can see here, right, response from server, we are able to see that the contact has been created and this is the ID that we have. So what we will do is we will go to our Freshdesk system, we'll go to the contacts, and we'll see that this is the contact that we have just created, and you can see the phone number that we sent. If we go here, and again I'll just send this ID here, and I will be able to get the contact record over here. So that's how you can send the request for creating a contact from your system, or we can say that from Salesforce to our system, which is nothing, that is our system called Freshdesk. Now next method that we have, we talked about creating a ticket from the Salesforce to Freshdesk. Again, for creating a ticket, what all we need is subject, we need email, ticket description, priority, we have status, and then we have got source, what source it is, right? Now let's quickly get back to our API. I will click on this create a ticket so that we can get all the parameters that we wanted to send here. Okay, so we have got this parameter that we wanted to send. I will go to this create a ticket here. Instead of that, I'm just going to copy this because this is what we tested. Now we'll get back to our Salesforce developer console, and we will paste the complete detail what we copied. Not going to send this CC emails. First thing that we will do is we'll prepare the string over here. Okay, now we have prepared the string. Next thing what we need to do is we need to make this dynamic. Again, this is an string here, so I'm just going to follow the same process for all these. So these are the few parameters that we wanted to pass as of now, and if we try to save it, we will be able to save it. Now let's quickly copy the code. The code means that what we have done for this, we are going to copy all these 4 lines and we will be pasting it over here. So we just added post, the method is post, and then we got that we added the request body as well, we got the endpoint. Now here endpoint is ticket endpoint because we wanted to create the tickets. Now we have prepared the body, we set the authorization so that we don't get any error, we set the endpoint, request body, and again we are just here I'm just going to copy this line again here from the response body to debug for us. Now let's quickly try test this again. So we have this class which is saying that Freshdesk utils, and then we have got create ticket, and this ticket is having some parameters, right? So for source I'm going to pass as a 7 because this was 7, and for status it is 2, for priority it is 1. So that is what we are going to pass over here. And description, we will say that ticket created from Salesforce. And subject, I'm going to name it as no action needed. And for the email, we are going to copy the same email over here so that it can get attached with the contact that we just created. Now let's execute it. We should be able to see the ticket has been created, and we will be able to see the response as well over here. You can see the response over here, the body that we have given. Now if I get back to over here into my Freshdesk system, you can see there is no tickets as of now. If I refresh this once, I will be able to see all the tickets that I have created. Like there are 3 tickets that has been created under this contact. So this is the last ticket that we have created, and we can say ticket created from Salesforce, no action needed, reported via chat, because this is the code that we have sent. And there are few more, like we wanted to give the type over here. We can set the type over here, question, student, incident. We wanted to use some groups over here, Q&A. We don't want it to assign to any agent. We have some tags over here. We can say tags over here. We can say that simple, and then we can just update. So all these we can send from our Salesforce system as well, but as of now uh, we are not going to do that. But yeah, if you want to go ahead and try this API, that will be definitely beneficial for you. So this is it for this lecture, and in the next lecture we are going to perform the part 2 of our integration, which is going to get all the tickets from the Freshdesk to Salesforce and get the tickets related to a particular contact.